Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
Chris, I understand you talked to Lindsay's attorney today. Can you tell me about that?
Well, his name is John Pellegrin. He's from Gallatin, Tennessee, which is right next door to Hendersonville. This is an area northwest of Nashville, a suburban area. And he basically wants her out of jail. He believes that he'll argue this in a bond hearing, which is set for 9 a.m. Monday morning. And he believes that being out of jail is better for her. She needs to be back with her family. Her family wants her back there. And she's never been in any trouble before. It'll be real interesting to find out on Monday morning whether or not that bond will be reduced to an amount that apparently her family could pay.
Chris, I'd heard some rumors that perhaps there was concern about her mental health or even her safety, potential for self-harm, that sort of thing. Are you hearing anything about that?
Well, you know, obviously in a case like this, you would want to monitor the suspect. That's what's going on at the Sumner County Jail in Gallatin, Tennessee. She is in somewhat isolation, but she's always being watched. There is some concern for her mental state, according to her attorney that we talked with this morning.
Now, according to Hendersonville police, Lindsay was arrested Wednesday after her father discovered the babies in a laundry basket. I mean, just imagine coming upon that scene. Now, after interviewing Lindsay, police released an affidavit which contained the following. Lowe confessed she knowingly and intentionally killed each of her children using her bare hand to stop their breathing until they were dead to prevent her parents from discovering. Lowe confessed she placed them, dead babies, in a laundry basket in her room, covered them with blankets to prevent their discovery. Ray, she's 25 years old. Now, do you know why, and she's living at home, I got questions about that, but do you know why she was so desperate to keep this pregnancy hidden from her parents?
Well, we don't know for sure. We do know that it was a very closely knit family. They loved each other very much. The parents doted, as far as we can tell, over their children. She had a fiancé, and apparently she didn't want anybody involved in her life to know that she was pregnant and was going to have a baby.
It seems clear that she didn't want anybody to know. What's not clear is why so desperately that she's willing to kill. Well, you know, it makes you wonder, were these somebody else's babies other than the fiancé? Was there something about the value system of that family where pregnancy was completely anathema to what they expected? Do you know anything about these things?
Well, all of those are good theories. We do not know for sure what her thinking was. I think that would be something that will come out later on. We do know that she didn't want these babies and had made no plans whatsoever to take care of a newborn baby at the time these two little boys were born.
Massive, massive denial, at least. Now, Lindsay had been employed at a Nashville dental office for only a few months. Although her co-workers didn't know her very well, they were shocked at the news. Watch this.
So many lives are ruined. It's a tragedy for everybody. We're all just shocked and saddened and pray for her and her family. I mean, I've tried to put myself in that position over and over since last night. And just, you know, you don't know what they're thinking, what they're going through. But anybody out there that may be going through this, you would hope that they would reach out to someone.
Yes, you would hope that they would take alternative means, Stacy. What do you make of this case?
Well, you know, Dr. Drew, you see more and more of these cases, and you have to ask yourself, is it because there's such fear coming from these kids of what their parents are going to think? Was there education? Did she know that there was a safe haven? You're not talking about some cases where you have a 14 or 15-year-old girl who gets pregnant and delivers kids and doesn't know what to do. You're talking about a 25-year-old woman who deliberately and knowingly killed these children methodically as she delivered them in the toilet. And so I think what the importance of all this is to remember that ignorance is not a defense to first-degree murder. Fear is not a defense to first-degree murder. And not being educated is not a defense to first-degree murder. That we have to tell young women who get pregnant accidentally that if they don't want the child, there are other alternatives. Now, you're going to see that all of these issues are going to come forth once this case gets moving in court. Her attorneys are going to bring all of these things up. The fearfulness, what was going on, what were the dynamics of the household. We don't know them now, but you'll hear them later on. And at the bond hearing, her attorney is going to desperately argue that she's not a risk of flight. She has no prior conviction. She has strong ties to the community. It's my understanding they were very tied into their church.